Welcome back to Watch the Skeet. Today I'm joined by Ben and Ammon Yeardsley, the brothers behind Anima, a team who've spent the past 2 years redefining the island's nightlife. Anima is all about creating spaces where people can connect, express themselves and move, all while giving local artists a place to perform well. With collaboration and community at their core, Ben and Ammon are proving that the Isle of Man's creative scene is alive, growing and full of energy. What a mouthful that was. Good Lord, chaps. I managed to get your blooming names right. That's a start, isn't it? How are we anyway? All good?
All good, mate.
Full up after that Chinese we just had there. What a pre-podcast scran.
That was, mate.
Oh,
Elite
you
level.
I don't think you can beat the Mandarin
No,
Chinese.
Mandarin's top.
Top
Absolute
quality.
Top. Yeah, I would say so.
Right, so should we get straight into it then and sort of get back to where this love and passion for music actually began? Like,
Yeah, well, we've always been sort of like into music events, and sense of community comes with like sounds, on a bigger scale, and it was kind of just the natural progression of the things that we were into, really, and like we always knew that we wanted to work together in some kind of respect, and we always ideally wanted it to be to do with music. But it just so happened that it ended up being the events. We sort of spent like 5 years doing solid market research.
Some might say.
go without experience beyond
and like we just loved the scene in the UK, and we just any opportunity we were going across, and then it just sort of made us think like, well, if we're spending all this money going away to go and have a good time, essentially, like why isn't there something going on the island that sort of is like this? Because we're not the only two people that enjoy this sort of music.
Surely not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we did question it at times.
It was like the perfect harmony, wasn't it? So we always been into so many different types of genres of music, and like it came to a point where, like we say, we wanted to offer something for the island, like for 18 and up to get stuck in and actually, I don't know, maybe drive some new passions, maybe just discover some new genres of music, and that really it's come, our pathways into it have come from almost different backgrounds, haven't they? But at the same time, we've just developed and changed over the years, and kind of arrived both together at like house music, really.
Yeah, that's the sort of vibe we're chilling at now.
Oh yeah.
Did you just like music when you were kids and all? Like, were you just vibing back? Like as early teenagers and all.
Definitely
Always.
Very different, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Very
like
different.
you're probably going to be surprised at what we come out with here.
Yeah,
Go on, then, give it like indie rock or something crazy.
it got indie rock
there,
in it, but it was
like
first on like rock, heavy rock, like metal, like when we were young.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
True metal.
way back, yeah.
Way back,
Like,
bit of
it's like-
screamo phase, Foo Fighters, like bit of like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. Like,
Oh boy.
yeah, because like my background is like from playing music. Like I
You played here?
Yeah,
Actually,
yes. Like I played in bands for years, like since I was like 13.
Okay.
And that's kind of my musical background, but also like played like jazz as well.
What type of instrument did you play?
Well, I played like trumpet, guitar, bass, bit of drums, but like played like all sorts of other instruments in between that as well.
Yeah.
But sort of like would say that I play guitar and bass as like my main instruments, with a bit of
Sing
vocals
as
as well. Yeah, vocals.
Got a little bit of a sing on you too.
Some
Oh,
Voice of an angel, as they say.
Songbird of my
cool.
generation, fella. He says swallowing down Chinese.
Hacking your hairball there or something.
That's it. It's sweet and sour, mate. Coated.
So yeah, that's where it all began. Rock and roll and heavy metal.
Yeah.
And then progressed into like hip hop. Always had like quite a firm like old school R&B background. Like mum was dead into all that sort of stuff. So developed from there, and like just slowly progressed to electronic music, didn't it? Like coming into when you went to uni, and then when I was still here, going away to events in the UK.
Yeah.
I stumbled into the old drum and bass scene.
Okay.
And
That must have been a heavy period.
that was it. That was an era. Definitely an era.
Yeah.
But then like from there, like went to places like Ibiza, bigger events in the UK and stuff, and just like the coming together and getting onto house and like the deeper like subgenres of house has kind of been where the happy medium.
It's
lies,
sort of
really,
like
hasn't it?
open.
Why do you think that is? What is it about house music that like, sort of
It's the
attracts people?
I think
Hooks people. If that's
it's the groove.
groove and the
It's the
funk of
groove,
it.
and
Yeah.
like house music is, you know, at its rawest form is like 4 beats, and like I think anybody can identify 4 solid beats rather than like, you know, so you start going into like jungle and like garage gets a little bit more complicated where it's like all sorts of cross rhythms and stuff going on. But house music generally, it's such a broad genre that it kind of nods its head at like all of the other genres in one way or another. And like
Yeah.
as Ben was saying there, subgenres wise, it's just like you could say the same for any genre really. Like the amount of subgenres that are in them nowadays, which really sort of it gives you the opportunity to buy into there's certain sounds that you prefer to do that genre, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, house music for us is just like, you know, that's just
well, it originates from disco, doesn't it? And disco's got a lot of feel, and that sort of that's I'd say is probably like the Anima sound is like the funky, groovy house stuff, and then as the night progresses, you get a bit more into
Deeper.
the hard drive.
Yeah, baby.
more minimal.
Well, I never really listened to much house and all,
Yeah.
but then when I met the pair of you at Jeff 30 under 30, you put me onto a couple of playlists.
Oh yeah.
At that, and now I am not even. When I'm wanting to get work done, what I'll do is I'll put in just no singing, nothing like that, just some nice groovy tunes, and just work away to it, and it's almost better than having to listen to the words. I think.
I think that's like a lot of people ask this sort of question about like what sort of music is it that you play, and I think the best way I'd describe it is that it's the type of music that you can more or less do anything to. So you can, you know, say you go to a club and, you know, you've got the option to be right up at the front, which is usually us two, just absolutely giving
going
it
at
beans.
this.
Or you can be at the back just having a couple of pints with your mates and still just like sort of background type music. And then, like you say, you know, if you're working, if you're, you know, on a laptop, whatever, it just really has such an ability to sort of be used for anything. Really.
Yeah, it's very broad almost, isn't it? I would say is the way
Yeah.
to explain it. And there's different people use it for different things. Is there different? So when you're making a drum or house beat, are you using a keyboard or what the hell, a deck thing? What, I don't know. Explain to me what the hell you use when you're making a bloody drum.
So
I've never even made music, mate. It's not my thing.
Well, we're still sort of like right at the beginning
embarking,
of starting to make and produce music. So like at the moment, we're like, so I guess your difference is like DJing and producing. And
there's two separate, two separate
disciplines.
Yeah.
Right, all right.
And we're very much sort of like wanting to jump into the producing side, which is like one of our projects for next year.
Yeah.
But as it stands, we just try and find as many bangers as we can and play them to as many people, because I think what we try and do as DJs, kind of as like part of our mission statement, is that we try and find music that people feel like they've heard it before, but they definitely haven't. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just playing
connection, almost.
Yeah. Rather than just playing like, you know, your chart hits, so that everybody knows, everybody's gonna go wild for. Like we try and find music that people have never heard before, but they'll dance just as much to.
Yeah, do you find yourself like scribbling through loads of different types of music on Spotify and all?
Well, yeah.
Spotify's one of the ways. There's so many different
SoundCloud
ways.
and all that sort of carry on.
The sort of sounds we go for, the more sort of the old school house sort of stuff, which is a lot of that's like vinyl only, so it'll only be pressed on vinyl. So to get the tunes, you have to either buy the vinyl or come across it in some way or another on the internet.
Oh boy,
yeah. So it really, like, as a DJ, and I think that's why, like, one of the reasons why we love it so much is because it's like when you start getting into it, like me putting you onto those playlists, it's like you're looking at that genre through like the tiniest keyhole, and, you know, like as you go on your own journey, you just start seeing like how much more there is. And like, obviously over like the last 5 years, like we've just gone down this massive rabbit hole to find like some of the most unbelievable like music and producers and artists out there, and it's just like it just drives you to find all this kind of stuff, and then as a fan, and then if you're a DJ as well, then it's just like you're just trying to give yourself as many opportunities as possible to find these tunes like
gems.
Exactly. And I'd say he's the best I've seen.
We've got different skills.
But he's a master at finding. He'll spend the time.
It's just the
digging and digging.
The behind the scenes stuff. Like that's always been me. See, he was used to like playing bands and stuff, and so on that side of things, got a wide range of sounds and different skills that come from that. But whilst he was doing that, I was just searching. I was digging away.
Like a little mole.
That's it.
Digging down under the ground, seeing what's down there. Like, see what you can see what other friends you can bump into down there.
That's 100%. Why they call him the Mole Man.
Oh, the Mole Man, right? Yeah. So a DJ then but can you edit the beat whilst you're playing it?
No.
Can you do anything to the song?
So you can.
You can manipulate.
Manipulate. That's what I was. That's the word I was looking for.
And stuff.
Yes.
The actual track is the actual track.
So you just can you can sort of put your own little tinkle on it, sort of thing.
Yeah, basically, and like a very, very skilled DJ can manipulate it to the point where like you can't even notice when they're changing into a new track.
Yes.
They use like effects that really like build tension, and like when they release it, it's just like the drop goes off, and like they're the sort of skills that you build as a DJ, so to speak. But like I say, for us, it's just always been about finding these tunes and essentially like the events side of it. It's the first kind of music that I've ever experienced where every single one that we go to, we make like mates. And like a lot of these people that we literally meet them one time, stay in touch with them forever now. And it's like every single event that we were going to, we're like, is this right? Like, you go to places like Warehouse Project, and you just constantly bumping into people that are throwing their carpets and their arms around and stuff. And it's just like, it's not a nice environment. Whereas the sort of genre of minimal house that we found is so inclusive and intimate. And it really provides
collaborative as well. Like people just, as soon as you say you're in the same scene doing a similar thing, they just bang on to you about working with you and want to progress in certain ways. And even from that, we've had artists on that we've met at events, and we're in talks with the other side projects we're talking about in terms of like getting them on, in terms of doing stuff there as well. So
nice.
It's it grows, like snowballs itself. So it's been a nice journey to get into collaboration with people who like I've been listening to for years. Like that aren't massive artists, but they're definitely well on the way to breaking through now. So
that's what you want, isn't it?
100%.
And where on earth did the name Anima come from then?
I'd love to take credit for that.
I was just thinking that there. I was looking at your T-shirt and you've got this whole thing around it. I'm like, why Anima?
Took a few fair few weeks to find it. Like I was looking, wanted something to
rage in the cage. That was never an option. By the way,
I don't know what to know this mole is up to in his spare time.
Oh, mate, no, you don't want to know. But also I just wanted something that would like encapsulate what it was that we wanted to like portray, and like the word anima actually means like to play with soul, like in musical terms, to play with soul, or like play spirit, like in a spirited way. It also has like a few different like meanings to it. Like in philosophical terms, it means the individual's true inner self. So it tends itself to a few nice meanings where just like that was the one.
I didn't know that.
Well, it again, like it's all within kind of the event energy that would like give off and create, and like within
space, really.
Absolutely. In that space, and kind of curating the events in the way that we do, we want people to feel like they're almost in their front room, just on their own. Like that's the kind of vibe that we go for. Like, and all the meanwhile being able to connect with people that they wouldn't necessarily connect with. So it's there's a few nice meanings that kind of tend towards what it is that we're.
And I guess it all sort of like goes into our kind of mission statement of trying to provide events that people don't feel like they're being watched, or they need to be looking around to see who's watching them and stuff. And it's essentially just been that journey of trying to provide these events where you've almost got like an element of anonymity. You know what I mean? Where you just have a good time,
freedom almost. But it's important that a name for a group it has underlying meaning, isn't it? That is extremely important, I think, because people do research stuff and break stuff down. There is some likes of Mole over here. There is some. I mean, I can go really deep into a rabbit hole, mate. Like,
I'm more tail behind you.
I've got a fluffy button of a tail, actually, a nice white tail, and I not a rat, no, ringy's tail. God save me. Oh yeah, but going down those rabbit holes can be an interesting mission at times, can't it? Which I find bloody fascinating. And dive down in, and you don't really know where you're going to go. And it's important that people know what Anima is. I think.
I think we're getting there now.
Right. When we walked up here before, there was a few people, and I walked back down for a piddle. There was a couple of people saying, "Oh, the DJ boys are." So, but people are starting to know. The brand's spreading a little bit, isn't it? And that's what the aim is, surely.
Yeah, definitely. It's to try and build it to a point where we have a massive foothold in the scene over here, and I feel like we are really starting to get there now to the point where people know what they're getting when they come to one of our events. And that's been our biggest aim, really, is to keep provide
quality, isn't it? And the standard of the event.
Focus on a high quality event that you would walk into in the UK. That was our biggest aim, is to bring the UK event scene to the Isle of Man. And a lot of the time we do have a lot of people that question like why the ticket prices are so high, and complain. Like a lot of people complain about it as well. And
heavy.
It's tough, because what we essentially try and do is view our event from an audience's perspective. So as soon as you're walking in through the door, you've either got something visual going on, or you've got you walk to the bar and there's nice service at the bar. You go up to wherever the stage is and there's nice visuals. The sound system is really, really high quality. The equipment being used is all the like industry standard equipment to provide that feel that, you can walk into anywhere in the UK. And I feel like the Isle of Man has unfortunately suffered a lot, especially since COVID, to the point where, venue after venue after venue is closing down. It's a lot more of a risk for a lot of venues to put on these type of nights, and essentially, like it's hard. It's very, very difficult. So we've been, on this journey of like the last 3 years. We've been on a mad journey, trying to find people to work with that are willing to take that risk. Because it's also high risk, high reward. Because these nights, luckily enough, every single event that we've ever done so far has sold out, and we're lucky enough to be in that position. But those venues then reap the benefits of that, because they're getting, 2-3 grand, through their door that they might not have actually got on that night or whatever.
Absolutely. So the biggest being up to 8. So when we do work with different venues and stuff, that's the kind of take home. Like we're offering something where they might not necessarily make that much on the bar usually, so
plow people into there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I mean, exactly. And prices are going up anyway, no matter what. No matter what way we look at it, everyone's going to have to put the prices up to be able to cover costs of things, no matter what. So when it comes to that, as long as the quality of the event is good, people shouldn't mind paying for it, because it's quality.
Exactly.
They don't have to pay 200 quid for a return flight to Liverpool to go.
Well, 100%. And
do you know what I mean? That's 30 quid for an event on whatever you charge on a Saturday. Is that okay then?
Yeah, that's 100%. We want to offer that same quality and still do it at a discounted rate, because I don't think people realise, like, we always have a light tech there, we always have a sound engineer there. So like those are the most important things, and to most of the time, to like the uneducated ear, like it's just loud music. Do you know what I mean? It's a different way of going about it, whereas a lot of the time, not many people are bothered about that. They just go out to go out.
But it's also important that people know, Ben, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. There has to be a place that you guys can explain and sort of break it down.
It's that cost down as well. Like we get headliners from across, like where
every single event
where we're choosing people who aren't necessarily massive names, but they're well on their way to breaking through in their own DJ journey.
Yeah.
And and they're so good. The lads that we've had on have just been top.
Is that the dream for you fellas?
Heavy hitters.
Would that be the dream to sort of break through in the music industry and start doing your own sort of gigs and stuff, like proper, getting out and about, invited to go to other people's gigs, and that's the idea, like.
Yeah, we're lucky enough we have already. We played. The first time we ever played out was in Hitchin, North London.
Just a little town outside of London, which is again was an opportunity that we had from one of our friends. Where he let us play on. Like that was
nice.
That was our very first.
What was that like?
That was, mate, a whole different experience.
Let's get into this.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, there was just like a set of events that like put it right in the crosshairs, and basically, like we were meant to go over the day before. But the flight got cancelled, and the equipment that they were using there was like stuff that we'd never used before. It was like what they call CDJs, which is your industry standard playing. And we'd just been practicing on a controller like flat out for 3 months, just like
which is different,
just learning.
Different feel to it, isn't it?
Massively. Basically learning how to DJ, because before that, those 3 months previous, our mate basically taught us how to mix in Ibiza.
Holiday.
So he did that, and we're like, oh, do you reckon you could get us on? He's like, well, if you go solid for 3 months, you'll be fine. Yeah. So we did. We went solid for 3 months.
Got down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. And he was
bottoms up.
Yeah. Big time. He was deeper, mate. And then essentially we went and we were meant to go there the day before, so we could get familiar with the stuff, spend a few hours, and be dead set.
Oh no, baptism of fire!
Yeah, so we So we got there, and the event was in full flow, and we were going on in like an hour or something, and there's basically like we're used to what you call a waveform, which is where each track is running like that.
Yeah,
and you match up the beats, and there's a line there.
Right.
Whereas on this older equipment, there's these thing called blocks, right?
Oh,
So you've got like four individual blocks on top, 4 individual blocks underneath, and they all jump along, right? And you have to match them up. Now, if you've never seen them before and you've got a few hours to figure them out, then you might be all right. But you've got a whole crowd. We had a whole crowd in front of us, and our mate was like, "You'll be fine.
You'll be fine."
Yeah.
I'm looking at him like, "You serious?"
You
just
never
listen.
seen
You've got to all use it completely. You can't rely on what you see.
It's kind of like almost like trying to read a different language.
A little bit. From what we were used to, from seeing the waveforms to just seeing like a bunch of blocks just flashing at you, it was like not used to that, and you're just there like trying to get it in time and get it going, and it was good for experience. Like the first gig out, like that was probably that progressed us.
Yeah,
like
because we're never letting this happen again.
Almost like the shock that is needed in a sense. Sometimes a good kick up the hoops sorts you right out.
Well, it's just, like honestly, mate, we were walking into that thinking we've got this sorted. This is going to go off. It's going to be the best set ever. Wait until we play this set, and then we got there, and then that was the case. And like. Our mate was like, "Listen, I'll get you started, and then you can like take over after that." And then he's playing on them, and it's like it's all right, starting it off nice. And then we literally like went to start taking over, and he pulled his USB out,
which cut the music.
And everyone just stood there like, hello lads.
And we were just like, what do we do? So we just stuck the USB in and then had to like get it going. And like literally after that, I remember turning around to him and I was like, "Mate, I've got it in time. It's not doing it. What? Like, mate, can you just tell me what I'm doing wrong here, just quickly, so I know what's the crack?" And he goes, "I don't know, mate. I don't know."
So we just had to finesse it.
Yeah.
We just
had to figure it out.
Power through it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So was that the first time you played away then?
Yeah.
So that was our first gig like
played out
full
ever.
stop. Yeah, we hadn't played in the Isle of Man at that point.
Oh Christ!
Yeah,
Was that really a wise decision?
Yeah,
Mate, how we
Mate,
had it boxed.
yeah, we had it.
And then he just last minute, like,
Screwed you.
You're playing on these. That you'd be fine on them, won't you? Be like, what are they?
It's like trying to write with a pen that you've never wrote. You've never wrote it with a pen before.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
So what other times have you played away then?
We played one other time in Derby. On
Why?
on one of our mates' events, that was class. That one went nicely.
Right.
we had
Smooth, like
Patterned that one.
Yeah, that one was down, locked and loaded and ready to go, and all sorts.
Yeah, that's like chalk and cheese to where we're at now.
Yeah,
in comparison to where we were at the start. Like that was very beginning.
2 years on.
2 years on, yeah.
How good is it looking back and sort of seeing an overview of? So good when you look back, take an outside perspective of the journey that you have just been on, and go, look, what the hell were we doing?
Yeah, it's mental because as you're progressing, like you don't think you're going to be that much better than you already know. Because it's like it's one thing learning how to DJ, it's a whole other thing mastering it as a skill.
Yeah,
and like the further on you get, like it just feels like it's the same with digging for music.
Yeah,
you're just almost getting further away from the point, even as you're learning more. So like, it's never ending piece of string. Like,
but that's just music full stop, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like music, and like that's why I think we've ended up trying to make this into our career, because essentially like music is just something that nobody can ever complete.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like you can find out this much, you can find out that much, and this person knows this much about this and whatever, but it's just essentially about you just get as much as you can and then do what you can with that.
It's sort of an open book almost. It never closes, isn't it? And the page just keep flipping.
And it's always evolving as well.
Yeah.
Because like we say, like mentioned earlier, you've got subgenres and subgenres of every main genre that is just like ever evolving. And it's like
you got all the past, all the stuff from the past, all the stuff from the golden era, all the way from the like early 80s, like late 70s, early 80s, all the way up to now.
Yeah.
So like you've got a good 30 odd years there of music where like
untouched.
There's millions of tracks.
Yeah.
Like,
that was never recorded, so to speak. It was just played live every time.
Just not even. It's like the stuff that was recorded, released, but like in that era of time, the only way that you could listen to stuff was either on the radio or go into a vinyl shop or like somebody that was dead into music and like listening to their stuff. So all of that stuff is just laying around in people's warehouses and people's collections, and like this is what I mean about when you're digging for music. Like as a DJ, you're essentially you've got the possibility to find stuff that people might never have heard before. But you might be the first person to hear that in God knows how many years.
Little gems.
That's it. And a lot of them are limited press, so it would have been only like 100 copies or copies in the world. So you can find a track, but you're not necessarily always going to get it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You can buy some, you can download some, you can like buy the vinyls, but again, like there's vinyls that are out there that are that rare that cost upwards from 200 quid because it's
for like one track.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah, that's the currency. You see, that's the music currency of the industry.
What vinyls are?
Well, they're just the how rare some of the tracks are and like how good they sound. Like there's reason why like on some tracks as well, like the artists haven't claimed them, so they're like unknown artists, so they could release it, but it can go under the radar. Do you know what I mean? Like a major artist.
I didn't realise that.
There's
there's a lot of excitement underneath there, isn't there? When you pull those quilts back and find a little beauty underneath there.
Be careful which quilt you're pulling up there, Percy.
The quilts on the vinyl, sorry. Just so we're clear there. Got myself down in the hole there, but I'll dig my way out anyway. Right. Shook. That wasn't the best analogy in the world, but we'll move on, shall we? Keep moving forward. So with the history, what do you think that the music on the Isle of Man, how do you think that is evolving in general? And sort of the party scene on the Isle of Man, the music scene is changing on the Isle of Man, I think.
Yeah, I
think it is changing. Definitely. People are it's a weird period on the Isle of Man for people going out. People are a lot more involved in health and fitness at the moment. They're also, people want to do everything. So they want to go to the gym through the week. and then they want to go out and gaff at the weekends, and you can't do everything because it gets a bit expensive.
Yeah, that's it.
I think at the moment, like you say, it's in a weird place. Like it feels almost like it's going forwards and back at the same time. Like what we were saying before with like certain venues having to close their doors or reduce hours and stuff. Like that's where it feels like we're going backwards. Like the island definitely needs to do something about keeping more venues and even providing new venues for this type of stuff to go on. Give local artists more of a platform to, produce music and perform. Like that's part of our mission statement as well, isn't it? To be able to give the younger, like local artists this platform to play on like lineups where there are bigger names coming from the UK.
Yes.
And in terms of going forward, like there are things being done. There are other people getting involved and doing events and progressing the scene in that way, which is kind of all you can ask for at this point.
Yeah.
It's just more people getting on board and creating their own version of what it is that they want to create within their genre.
In their head almost, and then trying to express that outwardly.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's a massive part of the culture. Music is the culture, and if you're not able to provide venues and places for people to showcase their talents, then you're essentially missing out on the growth of the culture of the Isle of Man. And like that like Ben says there, that's been a massive part of what we've been trying to do is to be able to put create a platform for people to be seen and heard, because as much as there's like traditional Manx music that is will forever be long standing as the island's history, there's some incredible producers, namely like the other guy, because like with Anima there's two residences. Obviously we play as a resident
a pair,
resident duo.
Oh yeah.
And then there's one other guy called Jack Burgess who goes under the name Berg, and incredible. He's such an incredible, exciting new talent, and he produces music as well.
Oh, true.
And
okay.
Like we saw him early, didn't we?
Got him in your web. Got your webs out and you got him.
Got you, Jack. got him early, and he's played on every lineup. So we play, and he plays on every lineup, and being able to provide the platform for somebody like him to go out there and do their best work is what we're about, really. And that's why it doesn't stop at us and Jack. Like we've got so many other arms of, like, I guess, the umbrella that we're kind of creating in terms of different brands and different parts, because we're in the process of starting a record label as well.
Nice.
Which is going to be class next year. But whoever is out there that may be wanting to get involved with anything, whether it's graphics, whether it's audio stuff, whether it's visual stuff, whether it's DJing, like just like to say like sound tech stuff, reach out to us, and if there's possibilities of being able to get them involved in some way, because we want to produce these industries to push forward over here, rather than people feeling like they have to go to the UK to kind of go after their kind of creative skills.
Well, just give that creative outlet, because there's so much talent here. Like just some of the different creative art forms that you just said. Like there's so much talent within all of those areas. Like especially within DJs. Like per capita in the Isle of Man, like I think it's probably got the most DJ dense population in the world. Like there's so many DJs, and they're quality. Like you gotta give it to the lads. Like there's some of the stuff that, again, like they're playing stuff that you wouldn't necessarily hear within the genres that they like to play, which is, that's all you can ask for being on the Isle of Man, because it is, a lot of the time it is like looking through the eye of the needle in terms of like what's on offer on a week-to-week basis, like going on a night out.
Yeah, and it's
just
pretty samey, isn't it?
Yeah,
unless people are putting events on like you fellas are.
Well, that's it, mate. That's it, and that's one of the main things we're trying to change. Like Ammon said earlier, like giving people that opportunity to hear music that they're not necessarily onto.
Alternative, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah, and just maybe begin that sort of passion within people and make them more aware of there being different forms. It's not all instance. There is like different variations. That's it.
And that's actually quite a nice lead on to us talking about the up and coming Halloween do we've got coming up this weekend.
Yes.
I mean, when this goes out, it'll probably be after the Halloween, but I think we should touch on how big of a deal.
I reckon you can pop it out before.
Yeah. Do you a little good and show?
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull a couple of strings?
Speaks to the
Manager in the corner over there. Look at him sitting pretty. Silent killer over there.
Yeah, mate. You
Controlling my life. He just has a shotgun at my neck all the time. You better do it like this. You better do it like this. Everyone thinks, it's
as he should, mate. As he should.
Got me by the back of the mullet saying, "Get here." Whoa. Well, let's touch on how big of a deal that weekend actually is going to be, boys.
Yeah, well, it is massively exciting because for us, it's probably the biggest event that we've been involved with to date in terms of the scope of it. And, it's probably best to sort of tell you how it came about.
Yeah, definitely. Give us a quick rundown on it.
Yeah, so we sort of come across the guy that runs the Laxey Glen, Ed Bunt, and he approached us to sort of get involved with this festival that they sort of were in the middle of planning. So yeah,
it's like a collaborative event with him, and then also supported by a bunch of other local brands like Riversea Sauna, Born Momentum, Yoga with Leanne. There's loads of different fire and ice.
Inner Alchemy.
Ian Kirk. I know he's been on.
Yeah, he's coming down to put the ice bath on.
Yeah. So is it inside or is it outside? Then what's the do? So
bit of both.
Yeah.
Is there a shed or something? I've never even been in Laxey Glen.
Haven't you?
Never had the privilege.
Oh my goodness!
I don't venture as far as Laxey. There's no fast way of getting to Laxey from Ballapeggy. You're taking the mick. I go through Ongan,
the coast road bike.
Yeah, keep away from there. That's full of demons around there. You don't know what's going on.
You belong in the farmland.
I belong land of milk and honey down south here.
Milk, honey, and hay.
Yeah. Oh yes. So is it? So what you just have a stage sort of thing set up, or will you be mingling and walking around? What's the do?
Multi-stage. So we've got 2 stages. Got a wellness thing starting the day off where that's taken over the inside and the TP, isn't it? Up until 2 o'clock. So we're offering a bunch of different workshops there. Where they're all wellness orientated. So we've got yoga, Leanne, you've got Riversea Sauna, and sound baths. Morning Momentum is actually kicking a day off with a run.
Nice.
9 o'clock just before the festival starts, and then that enters in at 10 o'clock, and then from then we've got those workshops leading to the main stage there, don't we? With a few acoustic acts, and going into bands later on, and then we have our stage. Don't we? With again, we've got a few local acts there. We've got Jack Berg playing. John Bolton, which will be a vinyl only set as well.
Funky disco classic. Like he's incredible. We stumbled across him at playing it. Was it up at Trackside?
Oh yeah.
We were literally on our way out of there because we needed to be somewhere, and he just started shelling out these unbelievable like disco boogie track. So he's starting us off actually from 2 till 4, following on to Berg, then us, and then we've got 2 really, really exciting headline back to back. A guy called Cadence, who we're lucky enough to call a close friend. He's doing unbelievably well, and Fitzy as well. Both played in Ibiza.
Had their debuts this year in Ibiza, playing in some of the biggest clubs.
Nice.
They were
Pikes. And
the eyebrows going there.
Aren't they?
That's an interesting
See the mullet twitching.
Lone baby. So what time's it on till then? What sort of
11?
Ooh, right.
Cool. It starts at 8:30, like Ben says.
In the morning.
Morning Momentum.
Yeah. All the way through.
Finishing. And then music starts at 2 o'clock with acoustic acts. We've got Patrick Knight, Imi Quirk, then Josh Key and Harry Rowe doing an acoustic set. Index of Alice, Loft 47, High Waves, Motherfunkers, and Kin Rage, who are going to top it off. I don't know, are you into Rage Against the Machine?
I know of Rage Against the Machine purely just because my mates used to blast it in the car full bore and come past me hanging out the window screaming.
You're right, that sounds like them.
Yeah. Out the window at you and overtaking you with a Golf Mark 4, just straight past you, like, salute.
Yeah.
So are you boys having a little tag team on the go there? Are you like the pair duo or whatever you want to call? Are you guys actually playing as
We're
well?
Playing. Yeah. So we were playing under our DJ name Yeardsley, before the headliners go on 2 hours.
So Yeardsley and Anima are separate?
Yeah, so basically Anima is the brand that hosts events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeardsley is our DJ name. Yeah.
Yeardsley, 2 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see. You're onto
it. I'm onto it. I'm learning these underlying meanings of names. I'm getting all quite spiritual and content here. We could just do this little nice spiritual music in the background.
Where's your crystal, mate?
Crystal crackers.
Yeah.
Tell me. So where do we see Anima in 5 years' time, chaps? Like, what? Can you release anything? Like, what sort of? I mean, we've touched on this being a career, but what can we expect?
I think it's like I'm saying, like we've got a fair few different like side projects on the go alongside it that's going to help just boost it at the same time. We've got the our mate has fortunately just built a studio at the moment, which we'll be getting into the whole producing game of doing all that sort of stuff. We're hoping to again set up a record label, which we've been working pretty hard with behind the scenes. Which again, like we want to provide that platform for people on the Isle of Man to produce, because again, there's a lot of them over here.
Not even young producers,
all
producers. So they'll come to your studio to produce their music. Is that what that point? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, or when they've got a track ready, like
we'll release it.
Yeah, we'll release it on the label. Yeah, on the label to then put out to the wider public and try and push the Manx talent that we have over here.
Yeah, that's what we need, a bit of a drive, isn't it?
100%. And just that platform to do it as well.
And I feel like it's almost, one thing that I found when I used to do all the band stuff is that it's such a shame that original music isn't supported, like I'd say at all, but like there's a few pockets of support for original music, but not that many over here, and that's why, and not to knock cover bands at all. I've been part of Red Hot Chili Peppers for the year that we were together as a band, but I just feel like the amount of talent that you have over here and the amount of talented like artists that write original music, there's not really anywhere for them to play, and there's not a lot of venues that'll take on a band that are playing original stuff, because the public don't really, they're not used to buying into it.
Yes.
They're more used to hearing stuff that they know and they can just go out and have a party. But, it's essentially the same thing for DJing. And luckily enough, with it being electronic music, what our aim is to provide a platform again to sort of springboard their tracks into, hopefully, different caught up.
Opportunities, really, isn't it? Yeah. Give people that chance to be heard by all sorts of different people.
And we've got the links, like a vast network of people now from these 5 years being involved with this, of people that have their own labels, that have their own promotions, and all it takes is for us to be in conversation with them to give someone the opportunity to play on their lineup, or send the tunes over, and their DJs will play it in the UK. So like the scope of what it is that we're aiming for, over the next 5 years, potentially we'll have like 3 or 4 different, working parts of this. And like I mentioned before, sort of having an overall umbrella where we've got a record label, merchandise and business, and then like promotional company as well.
That will do,
because we're also, wanting to start up an artist agency.
Yeah.
So we can collect up as much talent as we can, and have a team that actually does the work for them, where they can, they don't have to think about putting all the stuff on social media to try and get stuff. We can start doing the work for them with the links that we have in the UK to get them playing over there. Because as much as we've always wanted, and what we've been doing over the last 3 years is building a brand, that has a foothold in the scene, to give people the platform over here. And this will always be our home base. but essentially the scene is absolutely going off in the UK, and you have to be over there to be starting to gain traction.
The Isle of Man's always behind the UK though, no matter what they do. It catches up 5 to 10 years after anyway. Do you know what I mean? You boys are just starting to dawn of a new horizon, if you want to call it that. But it's actually just happening over there.
Yeah.
And that's like everything on the Isle of Man. I mean, everyone who listens to this, who's makes it, will know the sketch there. It just seems to flag here for about 5 years, and then everyone gets sick of going away and says, bugger it, we're going to do it here. The novelty's worn off. And then it's like, okay, now we can... And you boys seem to be driving that forward, which is cool.
Yeah, nice.
I think that's a nice way to start wrapping this thing up, boys. And get you guys out that door.
Not leaving.
Not going anywhere. But we do have our final question, gentlemen, that we ask everyone who comes on the podcast, and it's we've had some interesting answers over the past what? How long have you been doing this now, Herb? 8 months. Nearly, not far of you, about 9 months. And that is, it can be linked to what you guys are doing. It's completely up to you. What's one thing you would change about the Isle of Man, or improve about the Isle of Man, and why? Take a little second to think about it. Some people get it straight away.
I'm ready.
But we want 2 different opinions here. Don't you be agreeing with your big brother now.
Let me go first.
Mole. Behave yourself, mole.
You behave yourself,
I'll get a little bit of string on that hoop around your little snout there. Come on. Right, who's kicking us off here?
What was the question?
I'm not biting to that. I'm going to rise above that. I'm shy.
You can go first.
I'd just go with the obvious one, just the music scene over here. Like I think there does need to be something done about like some sort of investment and providing more opportunities for people to play stuff like bands, DJs alike. Like there needs to be more open spaces. Like there is a good circuit at the moment where you can get by, but I just think there needs to be a space that's solely dedicated for people to be able to play. I feel like that's on the government to do that, because it's there's been so many wake up calls in terms of what the youth are up to, and whatever else, and it'd just be a crying shame to just see anyone that has some sort of ambition leave the island, or if you're here get into a bit of trouble, or keep your head down. It's just
isn't it?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ammon.
Yeah, well, I think similar to what Ben's saying.
Everyone's different.
Yeah. Come on, Amo.
Not the same. Yeah, I think like if there was one thing that I could change about the island, it would be to have a bit more of a focus on tourism throughout the entire year, because I feel like there's a massive amount of concentration that goes into the TT, and quite rightly too, because it's the big event that the island is known for globally. But I also feel like there's so much potential over here that's not really tapped into anymore, because it's like the TT is almost like a meal ticket, and I feel like if it would provide such more of a sense of community to be able to do what we're doing on a bigger scale on the island and have a lot more support, that it would change a lot of things. And like you say, giving people something that they can buy into and take as their own, and take ownership of it. That's essentially what we need right now. We need people to feel like they have a sense of community, because it's quite difficult these days.
True, right.
I think if I could change something, it would be a bit more investment in tourism, and to give people over here something to be able to activities to do.
Yes.
Month in, month out.
Something different.
Yeah.
No. Mighty good. Thank you very much for coming on, gents.
Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute whirlwind of a music adventure there. I had a band on the other day, and now you boys teaching me about house. I'm getting accidental education here, really.
Yeah, quite
to say
right.
the least.
Quite
Thank you very much, fellas.
Yeah,
Bye, everybody.